Hey James, thanks for coming in this morning. Thanks for taking the drive down. Really enjoyed talking all things golf swing and obviously working on your game. Thought we got some really cool stuff done. Just wanted to send this over for you just to help you to practice. The big stuff we talked about was in the transition from backswing to downswing. Or with a view to trying to help you to be a little more consistent with your strike and to help you continue to move your pressure into your lead foot. When you've used your pressure mat, you notice that the pressure goes into the lead foot, and then just before impact you have a backup. You hit a lot of shots fat and thin. When I say a lot of shots, you're obviously a good player, but you hit too many shots, either fat or thin. At the top here, your wrist angle is 98 degrees. Obviously, very, very tricky to see in 2D using video, but you've got the 3D vest on, the MySwing 3D, and we know when we measured your wrist angle to be 98, which is fine. It could be a little more hinged, but that's cool. Where the real issue is in the downswing. You get a lot of down cocking. Some down cock, and what I mean by down cock is you're increasing the wrist cock, making the angle between the shaft and your forearm smaller, so increasing wrist cock. Some down cocking is good for power and sequence, but you get a little bit too much, and not only do you get a little bit too much, you hang on to it for a long time. And you can see here on the left hand side, we kind of looked at 2D video, and you kind of said, I feel steep and I can't kind of look right. We now know that you have too much wrist cock at this time in the swing. So you can see coming into impact, you've not dumped any of your wrist cock, too much angle, too much shaft lean. There's a new one for everybody out there listening. Too much shaft lean. Not releasing the golf club efficiently into the ball. And that's giving you quite a big backup. We know your upper body axis tilt to be 19 degrees at impact with the ball. Again, difficult to measure that in 2D, but we have measured that in 3D. We did a little bit of work. We tried to give you the feeling, and what you feel certainly isn't real. We tried to give you the feeling of losing some of that wrist cock on the way down. Now, the reality is you still had plenty of it, but we tried to get this angle between the shaft and your forearm a little wider, so you had less hinging or less hinge. We tried to get you dumping a little bit of that angle, and you're still just dragging the handle a little bit. And you can see still not quite got it lined up, but arguably it's better. And you can see what that's done to your body shape as well. Your lower body is much more underneath your upper body, and you have less tilt of the upper body. We got you down to around 9 degrees when we measured in 3D. We didn't think of any of this. We simply worked on the wrists, and it freed up quite a few areas. The benefit of losing some of this wrist angle is you won't need a backup in the late part of the hit to try and hit the ball. You can continue to pivot through, moving the pressure into the lead foot and moving on to the ball. In the original motion over here in the right, you had 40 degrees of dynamic loft. We ditched some wrist angle. We threw some away. We tried to not lean the shaft quite as far forward through the hit, and we got you down to around 28 degrees, 26 degrees at times of dynamic loft. So the ball flight completely changed, and you had less shaft lean. This was because your upper body could cover the ball a little bit better. Hope this has helped, James. We're booked in for about a month's time. It'll be really cool to catch up and see your progress. Speak soon.